So we play in a rock band, and you're like, what is a rock band doing here at this tech startup thing? And the reason is, we've always treated our rock band like a startup. And if you're an independent band today, that's the way it has to be. And even in our band, we have talent that wears multiple hats like we would at a startup. So Jesse, for instance, is our drummer. He is also an industrial designer. I play guitar, and I'm also a publicist. Our singer owns a painting business, and we tour in his painting van. And our bass player did ad sales, and he does all of our booking because he's the negotiation guy. So, we had this problem that, if you're a band today and you're about to put out an album, it feels like minting the silver dollar by hand for years and then throwing it off of a bridge into the ocean and waiting for it to float, because that's what a digital release feels like. So we said, if that's the way things are, what can we do that would be a little bit different this time?
If you're an unsigned, independent band, how do you elevate yourselves out of obscurity? When nobody is buying music, there's no industry left to support you. And you don't have any money to spend. You can create a way out of the problem. Invent something that's never been done before, and game the system. The Lights Out had a rough cut of their new album. Rather than shopping it to a record label, we took it to a brewery instead. We asked Aeronaut to brew a beer to pair with the music. Aeronaut developed a new style of beer to fit the theme of the record. We designed a social media trigger onto the label for drinkers to get the album. And T.R.I.P, the first studio album ever released on a beer can, was born. With T.R.I.P, we took on an issue plaguing the music industry for decades. Used technology to solve a problem technology created, reintroduced the tactile element to new music discovery that's vanished in the digital age, and turned the beer aisle into the next record store. T.R.I.P became a new kind of treasure hunt, with people discovering the album on beer shelves, following the instructions on the label, and posting on social media to get the music. In the middle of 3 holidays, an election, protests, and Super Bowl, one of the toughest media climates ever, the T.R.I.P story smashed through the clutter, gaining international attention and generating more than 100 million impressions from a campaign that cost less than 10 cases of beer. T.R.I.P was a labor of love at every stage of its creation, with a fierce DIY spirit, challenging an old industry to do something new, and showed how the smallest band can still carve a dent in the universe, even with the odds stacked against them.
So we brought a sample of the beer here tonight. It was done by Aeronaut. The album is about parallel realities, and every song on the album is a report back from an alternate universe that we visited. So that's the idea here. This is what we look like on stage, and on the label here is a social media trigger. And we're going to tell you guys what it is, and we're giving the album to everyone tonight. It's hashtag TRIPME, T-R-I-P-M-E. So if you're on Twitter here tonight, tweet that to @TheLightsOut and @Aeronaut Brewing, TRIPME, and we'll respond back to you automatically telling you what you're doing right now in a parallel universe, and give you a link to the music. So that's half of it, and Jesse's going to talk about the other half, which is the other problem you're facing if you're a band playing a show these days. Everyone at the show is doing this. And there's this thing going on stage, but half the time everyone's just checking Facebook. And we go, what could we do to make people take their phone from here and have them bring it up just a couple of inches here? Do you have the other one queued up? Okay. So Jesse's going to start talking, and we're going to put this down on mute so you can see the visual.
Yeah, so I'm Jesse James. I'm the drummer of The Lights Out, and I'm also the designer of this machine that we created called the Color Machine. And it was after a few trips out to Burning Man, the band and I realized that we really had to up our game as far as our stage show goes, and we noticed that bands that we were seeing live in the area were concentrating a lot on their music, but not a lot on the actual performance and the stage show and the visual aspect of their shows. And so I created this machine from parts I found it on some websites in China and things like that, and it allows me to program each one of our songs in a synchronized way. so that the lights synchronize with the music that we're playing on stage. So as you can see here, it's made up of over 1,000 LEDs on each of our instruments and on our bodies. That's all synchronized to every moment, every guitar solo, and things that are happening as we're playing on stage.
Maybe do questions then.
Awesome. Questions?
Yeah, down at the end.
So who has expressed interest so far in your services?
Thank you for asking that. Our next show is Friday, July 7th, where we're opening up for this band called Electric Six, which is one of our favorite bands, on a Boston Harbor boat cruise called Rock On Concerts. So as far as that, we're getting much bigger and better and cooler gigs out of this.
Was it actually 10 cases of beer that went into the whole campaign, or was it?
No, they brewed a whole bunch of beer, but the out-of-pocket expenditure for us to promote the album.
So how many cans and how far did they go?
That's a good question. I mean, they're distributing the Boston region. I don't have the exact number of cans that went out there, but they're about to do a rebrew next month where they're going to be brewing 4 times as much, and it's coming out at the end of July.
Bigger trip.
Yep.
Well, how did you measure conversion? So you had 100 million hits in a very tough media time. How did you
Yes.
measure conversion into sales? And how do you feel like you can improve on that as you move forward? Because obviously you don't want this to be a one shot.
Yeah, well, we want to keep doing this, and and this goes for not just music, but if you have a digital product, like a lot of people in this room have, you can put it onto a 3-dimensional medium, and it kind of becomes more real and tactile. So let's say you're releasing the new season of Twin Peaks, and you can release that on some cherry pie, with a good hashtag and a Twitter bot. There's a lot of ways you can slice this to deal with like digital and food, but as we look ahead to other album releases, we might do the next one on legal marijuana. And just follow prohibition through history. Just keep dancing that edge. How are we doing on time? I want to go over.
Couple minutes.
Couple minutes? Okay, over there in the corner.
All right, I can tell you got all really great stuff here, but I have a curious question. Where do you see yourselves in like 5 years, or even 5 or 10 years? 5 years, say even 5 years, because you got great stuff here, and it should really go. But what's like? How well is your the Kickstarter campaign going and things like that?
Sure. Well, we bootstrap the whole thing ourselves, just with money we make playing shows. The goal has always been for us is to have as much fun as possible with as little responsibility as possible. And when they say, what does success look like to you? It's like, that's it. How much fun can we have and how much can we get away with?
So you've gone with like hashtags and stuff on the can. Why not a QR code?
That's a great question. We wanted to make it interactive. So if it was just a code that someone would activate and get something, there's no public engagement at that point. So when you tweet at us, your followers will see like, what is this weird lights out thing my friend is tweeting at with this hashtag? And then we get the response back to you, and there's a whole record and document of the whole exchange. And then we can follow each other on social media, and we grow each other's followings that way. Yeah.
So this LED light show is really interesting. First, are you going to license it out? And also, does it work with every kind of music?
Right now, it's very much cobbled together from random parts. I animate it in Adobe After Effects, and I use this program that has no manual to it. I had to kind of figure it out along the way. But I'm working on trying to port it to an iPad program that would make things a lot easier for the band to be able to use on the fly and play songs that we don't currently have programmed with using sound reaction, things like that. It's really just for us right now, but it's still pretty cool.
You answered the sound reaction.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so the last thing is tweet the hashtag, and we'll pick someone from the audience tonight, and we'll find you in the networking portion, and we'll give you the beer.
Thanks, guys.